Like you?
Like me.
Like us.
It's Megan like us. Thanks, guys, for watching and hanging out with us.
Welcome back. That was a bad note.
Welcome back.
While we have you at the top of the episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we get into season 2, episode 5 of Spice Up Your Life. We're reviewing the Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex Netflix series with Love Meghan. And we've been doing this for quite a few episodes now, right, Danny?
Yeah, we've been doing this now for 13.
Hey, lucky number 13.
Yeah, it is a good. And honestly, welcome back. As you know, we've been reviewing this show week by week, episode by episode. The Netflix series with Love Meghan, starring the Duchess of Sussex. She's a duchess, but she's so much more.
Yeah, Meghan's a wife, she's a mom, she's a founder, former actress, and we're learning so much more about her each episode, and it's been a really fun journey along the way.
I'm Danielle, producer and longtime storyteller.
I'm Erin, a little sister.
So it's been really fun getting to know who Meghan is through this, but we got some hot topics kind of to cover out today that are kind of interesting.
Yeah, let's catch up with Meg. So first of all, this episode was named after a Spice Girl song, and I immediately thought about Victoria Beckham since she also has a Netflix doc.
Yes.
And I've been seeing the headlines, once I did a little bit digging, that allude that like maybe there's some beef with the Sussexes and the Beckhams, and then Harry and Meghan took Nicola and Brooklyn out to dinner, and I just don't believe that this is anything. It feels like it's a nothing burger, but as we
like,
have,
I'm honestly like, wait, what happened?
I know this. I was floored. They said there's a whole fallout, and the thing that I am learning much more about the way that the royals are covered in media, which I learned from the documentary. But then also through doing this show and us being in community with the Duchess of Sussex fans and being in community with fans of the royal family, it is really interesting the way that one small choice can turn into a whole thing.
It's like, oh, and now she's a liar. It's like weird things that are like, well, yeah, because that's how you respond in this manner about XYZ thing. And it's like that is like a lot of mental gymnastics. So that's probably my biggest hurdle with getting too deep into the royal family, especially as someone that's from Southern California. It's not really part of our day to day as much. But the mental gymnastics that I have to go through to even read the headlines, I got to put it down.
So I went somewhere spooky and I was in a Reddit thread, and because I wanted to know the Spice Up Your Life, it felt to me, I was excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like the blending of things that I love. I love Victoria Beckham. I love Meghan. This is British culture, you know?
Yeah.
And people were saying, they were like, we're surprised the episode was named that way because we thought that Meghan and Victoria were beefing. And obviously not if she approved an episode to be named after a Spice Girl song. So anyways, just so that you know, because I feel like it is, I'm doing my duty.
I'm lost.
Is that there was we didn't know that there was a whole underbelly of conversation occurring. And I too was at a loss, but I think that it's not real, but real enough. So if you educate us, maybe like,
actually, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Literally, don't send it to me. I don't care. Like,
I'm in the comments, so I unfortunately will have to read them.
I'm in the comments. I love the comments. Send us positive comments, but don't tell me about the Victoria Beckham
I block all the bad ones.
This is two girls I love. I don't want to hear it.
I know. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Anyway, any hoozle. Let's get into the play-by-play.
Let's get into the play-by-play.
So as we know, I'm a little sporty and I love a little play-by-play. So we're going to do a recap and review of With Love Meghan, season 2, episode 5, Spice Up Your Life, Shetty and his wife, Radhi. So the episode starts and Meghan's getting a tour at an Ojai olive grove. And I don't know if you've been up to Ojai, but it's absolutely beautiful. I did a solo trip up there a few summers ago. And by the way, like, just as an aside, don't be tacky and ask people how much things cost. I went up to I did a solo trip to Ojai Valley Inn. And I remember I was telling like a group of people like, oh, I like to take myself on solo trips sometimes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I always wanted to go stay at this resort. And someone was like, how much did that cost?
Why would they do that?
And I was like, I think you mind your business.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was very uncomfy. And I just think that like don't do that. But do go up to Ojai. So do's and don'ts, go to Ojai, don't ask people their business.
Also, another place that used to actually do a cool olive harvest is Caltech, the college in Pasadena. They would do like this yearly festival where all the students and staff would go pick olives. I covered it for a news story when I was in college, and I was doing some digging, and they don't do it anymore.
Oh.
Everything is done.
Let's bring it back.
Okay.
But we are starting the episode off hot.
We have opinions. Sorry.
We have opinions today, obviously. So
I'm wearing the red and I'm feeling spicy.
Fiery. You're spicing up your life. But I do like an olive oil tasting.
Yeah.
And that hop in. So anyways, Meghan's going up. She's getting olive oil because Jay Shetty is coming with his wife Radhi. And Meghan says that she met them at a dinner party. So Danny, what can you tell us about Jay Shetty and Radhi?
Okay, so Jay Shetty and Radhi are married. They've been married since 2016.
Sweet.
So that's actually like us for me. I got married the same year.
Sweet.
We know Jay. He's a podcaster, author, entrepreneur. You know, a lot of his stuff is about like life coaching and people living in their full potential and purpose and helping their mental health, right? Well, his wife is the same, but for your body. And she's a nutritionist, a clinical dietitian, and also an Ayurvedic expert. And so she wrote a book called Joyful, which incorporates all of those things and how to make recipes with the Ayurvedic stuff. So it's very interesting. This episode deals with a lot of themes of like healing. And I think that's where they were trying to go with it.
My favorite fun fact about Jay Shetty is that he was Will Smith's life coach at one point. And also, this is on Wikipedia, and also about Ayurvedic medicine. So I did my honeymoon in Sri Lanka. And one of the days, like in Sri Lanka, you can have a driver and then you ask them, like, where should I go? And they'll just take you places. So one driver just took us. We didn't ask. And so we just got driven to an Ayurvedic doctor, and he had like all of these like tinctures and things all around. But I had sprained my ankle surfing like the day before. So I like was on crutches and my ankle kind of hurt. And the guy gave me like some special ointment. He wiped it on my ankle and gave me a back massage. And I swear to you, I didn't need the crutches after that.
That's crazy.
And it was, I don't know. So I do need to share that story because it did work on my ankle.
Yeah. One of my in-laws is actually an Ayurvedic practitioner. So like I could call and be like, what do you think? And
It's there
really
is some healing essentials.
I'm
And
not
it was
into
cool.
like anti-science, but I love like medicine that is incorporated from like plants and stuff like that. Like I think there's so much that we are forgetting that's natural medicine. Like Meghan even actually says it in the episode. She's like, yeah, like we got to think of food to heal us.
Exactly.
And I think like that's the biggest gift food is.
Yeah, food can be healing. So before they fully arrive, Meghan makes a host drink, and she says that Jay and Radhi, they both don't drink. And so sometimes when people are hosting, they kind of forget about their guests who aren't drinkers. She says that it's really important to make a host drink that isn't just water, because water can feel like an afterthought. And so she makes a drink that's somewhat of a form of like a strawberry lemonade. And then she writes on the board, "Herb your enthusiasm," which I like to think that was going to be the original name of this episode. And then they changed it to Spice Up Your Life. But Jay and Radhi arrive. They like the drinks. And it reminded me of how crazy mocktail culture has gotten. Like, why am I paying $18 for a strawberry lemonade? Like, you know, this would have been $18 somewhere. And they would have had it on the mocktail section. And they would have been like $18 strawberry. And like, by the way, good ingredients, $18, maybe not. But the mocktail culture has gotten crazy.
Beyond. Again, I'm going to say this again. Everything's broken.
No, it's like they realize that, like, because you know, there's all those studies that say like Gen Z drinks less than all the previous
everyone
generations.
is drinking less.
No, I know, but like specifically Gen Z. And so then it feels like all of the bars were like, how do we make money off of this generation drinking less?
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to upcharge Sprite.
I mean,
do you want a Sprite? Oh, a vodka tonic with lime? Oh, you mean just water and lime?
they knew that it would work though, because I mean, like if you've ever spent any time in like club culture, like you could get charged a lot for just water.
Yeah. Then Jay and Radhi, they share that they host a lot of game nights at their house. Because Meghan says, "So do you guys host a lot?" They say, "We host a weekly game night when we're in town." And they like to play Mafia or Fishbowl. And Fishbowl is such a great game. If you are hosting game nights and you're not playing Fishbowl at least once in your game nights, I'm going to put you on. You get... everyone that's invited to the party gets 3 pieces of paper, and on the piece of paper you write a noun, which is a person, place, or thing. And then on the piece of paper you can do like proper nouns, whatever, but it needs to be one word. So then people come up one by one, and round 1 is charades. Round 2 is you describe the word without saying it. Round 3 is you have to describe it in one word without saying the word, and everyone has to figure it out. And it becomes a really fun communal game. So Jay and Radhi, I want to go to one of their parties if they're playing fishbowl, because me and my friends, we play fishbowl that is our game night, is just us playing fishbowl. And people put in really silly things. Like one time when my husband and I were newly dating and the whole friend group was like excited about it, they put Aaron and Nat as the noun because we're a thing, which is really cute.
That's so cute.
It was really cute. So I do feel like play fishbowl. Mafia is also really fun, but you can Google that. Meghan invites Radhi and Jay into her craft room, and she says, we're going to make soap. And so she starts explaining the soap making process. And Jay says, well, how often do you make soap? And Meghan's like, it's my first time, which I think is the thing we're learning on this show is Meghan likes to do things for the plot.
Yeah, she's here for it. And I think she also ends up bringing up in that conversation about the soap, like the healing properties. They end up using the olive oil that we saw at the beginning of the series to make this soap. And then with Radhi's help, they have a list of ingredients that are there. A lot of things they're just plants. And Meghan ends up using arnica. She says her kids have a lot of bruising. And so she wants to incorporate that into the soap to maybe try to help a little bit.
Well, she's thinking like toddlers run around and they bang their heads on things. And she says like bumps and bruises, arnica is good for that, which is super smart. I would say, by the way, like soap is a great gift. My friend Jackie, world traveler, always is somewhere. And so she always has gifts with her because she's just that type of person. And one of the gifts of the last time I saw her, she gifted me like a bar of soap, and she was like, I know this is random, but here. And at the time I didn't think much of it, but it's something that I keep in my travel toiletry kit because obviously it's TSA safe because it's a bar and then it can come with you. And like, sometimes hotel soap is not that great. Sometimes it's really drying. To have this great bar soap, it also makes all of your bags smell really great because it's like the scent stays with it. Yeah. So bar soap, a fancy bar soap is a great gift to give to people. So just a little tip. They all place their own recipe of herbs and essential oils into the soap mixture. They're letting it set. And now we're going to get into the sweet potato green bean curry because that's what's on the menu with some naan. Sounds delicious. So Radhi's plant-based. Yes. And Danny, why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because I was vegan for a hot minute, but I feel like you just know more.
I was vegan for almost 5 years. And what I learned the most that I think most people can take away is that veganism is an attempt by a lot of people to shorten their food chain. So try to just be more aware of like where your food comes from, how far it is to get to you, and also just be aware of like the agricultural farming that happens. A lot of times we're doing these industrial farms where the meat's going and things like that, and that can actually cause a lot of harm to our environment. Outside of that, learning how to cook vegetables in any state is also something really fun that you do as a vegan. And I love that we're getting to see that with Radhi today.
I like that too. And
I'm no longer a vegan though. I eat steak.
I like meat. And a bean and cheese burrito was really the hardest thing about not being. I like bean and cheese burritos. So they get into talking about spices for healing. And, I felt like for us, we always had a little bit of like echinacea when we were kids for like a cold. And this is a really funny part because as they're talking about this and getting into the cooking, Jay's like, my wife's never been with me in the kitchen, which like to me, I took as like, he's probably really bad at cooking.
He's really bad at cooking. I watched another clip of them on another show.
Yeah.
And she's like, just don't even
No,
bother.
I know. It's funny because he's like, he doesn't.
I think that's a negative in a partner. If I could say something about another fellow podcaster, Jay, bro, get in the kitchen. What's up with the life skills? You need to get your skills up in your life. I'm just being honest.
I think he's like, I like to eat the food. I'm so bad. Because I honestly, something that I had empathy for Jay throughout this whole episode is that like he's being so hard on himself.
He is.
On all along the way.
So much.
To the point where the women are like, you're being so hard on yourself.
Meghan at one point was like, your podcast is about mental fortitude?
No, I know.
Where is it?
She's like, if it was cut nicely, it would look really nice.
No, it's great.
I know how fine Radhi gets it.
Don't be self-shaming. What are you doing? You have a podcast about the complete opposite of this. You're like the person that people go to not do the thing that you're doing to yourself right now.
I love doing it to myself. I think it's important.
Really, what you need to say is, I need to practice this.
That's what it is.
It's just an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, you're telling everyone they can do it. You need to be kinder to yourself because he's like really beating himself up. So
Meghan,
I think the cooking is obviously this is a spot for him that
he feels weird about.
doesn't feel like this is his strong suit.
Yeah.
And what do you see for the rest of the episode? Radhi really is in charge. Radhi takes the lead. She is leading the cooking. Megan's like, I'm sorry, I keep putting you to work. But Roddy's in charge in the kitchen here. And I think because that Jay is like a little uncomfy, he's not talking as much either.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little bit more like, oh, I am uncomfy with what's doing. So he's really focused on the task at hand. But they start tossing in yummy spices to make the curry, and they get into naan. And this is when they start rolling it. And like the naan and soap are definitely breaking Jay's ego a little bit. But they eat the naan. It looks delicious. The crew gets to eat it too. And now they go back to the soap. So when they get into the soap, it's a success. They each take a bar to cut away from each person's kind of cube that they all make. Megan's looks great. Jay comments on Megan's looking great. He comments on his looking bad. His doesn't even look that bad. Jay, I want you to meditate on just, it's okay to not be great at all the things. That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun.
Like, you're just like, oh, I don't know. Will I, won't I? Like, the teetering of it. That's why we love live television and lives.
It's just
because we're like, are they going to pull it off? What's going to happen? Like,
and by the way, everything he did was...
That's honestly, the spontaneity is what we're missing on a large scale.
Yeah.
Everything can't be planned out.
Everything can't be perfect.
Everything shouldn't be, where do I park? How much does this... Like, just be sometimes.
Yeah,
You'll have a better time.
I agree with this. And
those are my thoughts.
Yeah, Jay, like, it's okay to not be the best. You know, it's okay. And anyways, everything looks great. So you're being hard on yourself for no reason. And I think that like Meghan and Radhi are kind of at a certain point, they just go like to each other. And we show that Meghan making the vegan coconut chocolate macaroons and chai masala. And I'm dumb because I get macaroons and macaroons. I do even pronounce.
Honestly, it's a thing for me as well. And honestly, both of us read books. So I don't know why it's a thing. I think it's like the coconut added to it just means it's cursed. If you see a macaroon with one O, just know there's a curse in there.
I like them. O. I like them both. I eat them both. I don't know how to make them.
Coconuts?
I think so.
Ew.
I think I like it.
I didn't like this dessert. I'm sorry, Megan.
I think I like it. But I like that she used the chickpea liquid juice instead of egg whites to like make the froth. Then she makes the macaroons and Radhi makes the chai masala tea with some mint and oat milk. Jay dunks the macaroon in the tea. And the group reflects on community, connection, and conversation at the end of it. And it's very sweet.
So we learned about Meghan. We learned about veganism. We saw Jay and Radhi. But was she like us this episode?
I do feel like Meghan was like us. In a lot of ways this episode. First, I like that when she's talking about making Indian food, she says that she's never made it before. We talked about Radhi was kind of like the lead chef on this episode, but it's because Meghan has never cooked Indian food before. And she said she was a little intimidated, but Radhi made it seem easier. Yeah. So now she wants to try. And I, too, love Indian food. And I sometimes make like a curry and stuff, but I haven't really gotten into that. And I want to try now, too. It looks delicious.
I have to be honest, like Indian food, like a majority of Indian food is vegetarian. They're in their bag with the spices.
I know.
When I was a vegan, I ate so much Indian food and prepared so much Indian food. And everything is so flavorful and colorful, and you lack nothing.
Yeah, it seemed I love to go to an Indian restaurant, but yeah, I want to make it at home. And then the other thing that made me feel like Meghan was like us, what the most relatable thing in this whole episode is me watching it, I see that Meghan felt really torn between who in the couple to chat with. Like she was kind of third wheeling.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty hard this episode.
It was very third wheel.
And she's like, do I talk to Jay right now? Do I talk to Radhi right now? Like she's definitely like, it was just she was third wheeling, and that felt really relatable because who amongst us hasn't hung out? In my life, I third wheel really hard with my sister and her husband my whole life. And sometimes I'm like, you're
not third wheeling when you're with me and KO. That's ridiculous. You act like we're like this couple that's like, baby. Like we don't even act like that.
It's still, you don't, you know. It's
we're
still
we're two homies.
It still is a third wheel. Are you? So people would say if it's a couple.
It's only a third wheel if it's not your family. Like it's only a third wheel when you're with like a weird couple that makes you feel weird. That's specifically third wheel.
Let's
My
ask
definition
the chat.
stands.
Chat, if you're hanging out with a couple and you're not in a couple.
That's a bad couple to hang out with if you feel like you're like, to me, that's not a compliment.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think it just means that the couple is close.
No, I think it's not a good compliment.
Have you ever third wheeled?
I have third wheeled. I'm with couples that aren't. They're like usually a new couple.
I think even if you're with a cool couple, you're still third wheeling. It's like if you're with like two best friends and you're the third.
That mindset is wrong that everyone has. So like you have the general definition of the term.
Everyone is wrong.
Yes.
Everyone is wrong.
But that is not right. It's not right. It's making you feel like you're with no one when you're with people. And I feel like that's anti-human.
I don't think that that's
I have a
true.
strong opinion about it.
I don't think that's true. And I feel like it seemed relatable because she definitely was third wheeling.
This time she was, for sure.
This is the third
Because
wheel.
they were like a very coupley couple. You know what I
It
mean?
was like,
yeah.
She was like, who do I talk to?
Like they're both looking at each other for the answers. Like, who, you? You know what I mean?
That's what was happening. That's what was happening.
All right. So for
what
me,
were
my
yours?
Lexus are Indian food. I said that. Veganism. I was a former vegan. I used to make content also for vegans. And I feel like I like that this couple was married in 2016. I share that with my husband. And we're actually around the same age as them too. So I have a lot in common with the Shettys. And I also used to work for Will Smith.
We got to call him up. We're going to obviously a fishbowl night is coming.
Yeah, they have 40 people dinners.
I know
they can
that's what
invite
she
us.
said.
They can
That's what
invite us.
40 people come to their fishbowl nights.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us on our lives. If you're actually around this week, we might do another one. So hang out and check out our socials. Make sure you got the alerts set up so that you know when we are going live. But also make sure you follow us. Like us pod on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff. And I'm Danielle. D is for Danny on all socials.
And don't forget to share and comment while you're there. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate your comments. I'm at Erin Jones Wesley on all socials.
Thanks for watching. Well, we gotta run.